I was waiting for you to hit record.
I'm sorry, I was running late from a one-on-one with Dove. Hey, folks. All right. Thanks for joining for us to think about the discussing the merge train support for fast forward merge. By the way, thank you, Vitika, for your latest attempt as far as cleaning up that epic to make it clear what we're trying to achieve here. That the flow that you added was amazingly cleared up a lot of the confusion for me as well.
And it also helped me understand that where am I missing things. I mean, the flow that we have, it doesn't reflect what you want to achieve right now, but it certainly tells me what is it that I was getting wrong all along, and maybe I'm still getting wrong. So I put my comments in the Figma file at those particular positions.
Okay. I'm just updating the agenda right now. What are the first things we wanted to discuss? I didn't come with specific questions of my own.
I had a question, I mean, a very basic question. So when I went to this epic, the first paragraph in the problem to solve, it says, can I share my screen?
Yes, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay. All right. So the problem to solve, it says merge trains could help solve a fundamental contention problem of fast forward merges because the CI pipeline must be run every time the merge request is rebased. So I figured that the problem that we were trying to solve here is that maybe if we allow fast forward merge in the merge train, we wouldn't have to rebase every single time when the master changes, which is every single time a merge request is merged. But so I had put that as the hypothesis in the Figma file. But I was looking at Fabio's comment that maybe this would not be possible. That I mean, even if we.
I was going to say that it requires you to rebase off of master anytime master changes to do a fast forward merge. But Shinyu was also recommending using it's kind of weird because it's like not actually a fast forward merge, but he was recommending to build the result of like the other MRs and then in like a temporary ref and then just kind of like replace the ref on master with that or like use a pointer. So I don't know. I'm still kind of like, I sort of wrote up a simulation and I'm still like kind of looking for feedback on that. Okay. So we can see as far as that goes.
All right.
So what I wanted to say with that is, so Alison is, you're correct. You're definitely correct on that. So when we can simply merge a branch into master, because that will create like a merge commit, and with fast forward merge, you don't want to have a merge commit. So we have to rebase regardless. Now the point is, I think from the hypothesis, the way I read it was that every time master changes, we have to rebuild the train. We don't need to rebuild the train. I think because we are using the merge train refs, these temporary refs that we are using to run the pipeline against, the diff of the merge ref, the cascading refs should match the diff of the MR being rebased right before merge. So because basically the previous ref will become master eventually for the other cascading refs. So if before merging a ref, we rebase, we basically are applying the changes of the feature branch on top of the previous ref, which that will be master eventually. So the two diffs will match. So if we run our pipeline on the merge request, merge train refs, and the pipeline succeeds, we should be confident that by rebasing and merging the feature branch, we basically have the same results. So we could use the the cascading refs that we already have today to run our pipelines, to do all the various checks. But I think that if we take the merge train refs and replace that as a commit and fast forward that, the problem would be that we actually are using a different commit than what the user did on the merge request, right? So even if the simple example of having the commit message, a commit notes, and the commit header and body, that will be different because the commit we have on our merge cascading ref is actually a custom message that says I'm testing this merge request or for this merge train. So we are actually not merging what the user did, but we are merging something that an internal ref that we did on our side. This will be the downside, in my opinion, if we merge
But
the internal ref.
End result would anyway be something that user expects, right?
So if we merge or change the pointer to use the internal ref rather than merge a request feature branch, that will be more efficient, I think, internally, because we already have all this done. We don't have to rebase and do anything else, right? It will be more efficient, but I think we'll introduce some problems where the final commit that you see on master is not what you had in the merge request. It's something internal that we generated. So user might be confused by say, where is my commit? Because I don't see my commit here. With fast forward merge, it should be exact commit that you have in the merge request should be on master.
Yeah.
Do you think we can make this clear to the user through some messaging? That this is the process that would be followed because these options are checked in the settings?
I wonder if it would be possible to have like a reference to the original commit on the new commits in the message.
We could maybe like in the message, but that means the commit and master will have a different commit message. That is not what the user pushed. So it's still,
well,
we are changing I think the expectation, which I'm not sure is maybe it's fine, but just want to point out that it's not the pure fast forward merge where you have the same commit. Actually, it's moved from the branch into master.
I
but it's an
wonder if
internal ref.
Should we do some like customer, I don't know, research on if they're okay with that? Because I would hate to implement it and then have customers be, I don't know, because it seems like if you're using fast forward merge, you're probably like pretty picky about the commit history. And
yeah. So the difference there, we still can reuse all the cascading refs that we have. That will be very important work that we already have. I think what it will change is just the merge part. So when we say these MR now can be merged because the merge train pipeline passed, then we have to rebase the feature branch and merge immediately. And now I'm not sure like how expensive it is to do the rebase server side like all the time. Like how much do we save from reusing the internal ref and do this work of replacing the commit where it's kind of looks more efficient, but how efficient that will actually be, I'm not sure about that. If it's not really efficient, then we could rebase and merge, and that will keep the history as expected.
Yeah, I guess if we do a rebase and merge, though, I guess it could get kind of messy potentially if the merge did fail for some reason. Well, just because then the actual branch is rebased, and maybe people aren't aware of that, who are trying to collaborate on that branch and such. Yeah. I guess
Good point.
there's I guess it just seems simpler, yeah, to replace the ref, but yeah, I'm not sure if customers will care if the commits are look different than what's on their branches.
So, Tao, what do you think? Would it be worth releasing another feature flag and testing with users
What
this
do you,
approach?
wait, you mean to validate, to do some solution validation?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, if we internally are not very sure how much of a difference is it going to make as compared to the previous method,
Yeah.
and I mean, with this, like the right commit history not being available, how much of a difference that makes for users in their workflow. I think it would be worth it to check it
Yeah.
if you're going that path.
Are you, yes. So the first part of your question, I think that would be useful and helpful to do some testing with users for the solution validation. But would we have like a proof of concept for them, or is it just a talking through the output to get feedback?
We could probably provide an example of what the history would look like for a typical fast forward merge versus, you know, kind of just swapping out the ref of
Yeah.
the merge train.
That probably would be good. We could limit it to that to be very specific. And maybe Vitika, we can use there was training recently on the new tool user testing that is an unmoderated test where we can share it with the users that are very vocal on this issue for fast forward merge and merge trains and have them go out there. I haven't looked at how to configure that tool for we're basically surveying for input, right? But we could do that. Unless you wanted to have a live discussion with them, but it would be harder for you to schedule all those. It's up. We can talk about that, but I'm in agreement with that. But Allison's idea is great. We can share with them what the history would be like on a regular fast forward and what it would be like what we're proposing and see if it's problematic.
Okay. Another thing that I wanted to speak about was this option this change that I made. I think Fabio recommended this, but he sees some problem in this workflow now. Adding to the first position in the merge train instead of merging immediately. I mean, instead of providing the option to merge immediately.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I think I originally had said that, but like I'm understanding now more how merge train works. So
Okay.
I'm not sure if this is a good idea. So if the user wants to merge merge request immediately, could be it's urgent that they have to merge it now, right? So you don't want to wait for the merge train. So that means they don't want to put them on the train, wait for the merge request for the pipeline to succeed, and then eventually auto merge it. They actually want to merge immediately. And
Got it.
so
Should I put it back the previous workflow?
So I think, yeah, we should keep merge immediately for, in my opinion, because putting on the MR on the first position is actually different than merging immediately. So I'm not sure will that be the same expectations that the user would have.
One thing that I was never sure about on the merge immediately, does that mean that it doesn't wait for even a pipeline to succeed? Or I would think it's still, does it pause whatever's happening in the train and allow this MR to merge immediately? Does anyone know?
I don't think it would currently, but I guess that's why if you rebase, it's then potentially the merge could still fail due to it needing to be rebased again. But yeah, Shinyo was saying it's kind of an edge case, so it's probably okay to just have an error happen in that case, and they can try again.
Meaning,
I
meaning we
was
would
wondering-
not support, meaning we would not support merge immediately.
No, meaning we would support merge immediately, and it would be a rebase and then merge. But
Oh.
yeah, there's the potential that the rebase could fail if another merge train MR goes in.
Oh,
Or
gotcha.
yeah,
In
the
the
merge
meanwhile,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So
Hmm.
Alison, what
Um,
you're saying is that the merge immediately button would automatically rebase and merge. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
I'm imagining would
Yeah.
happen. But I guess another thing I'm thinking about is if we're going to have a merge immediately button that's for hot fixes, I wonder if some customers might want that to be to bypass even the fast forward merge, just because if they're really trying to like get out a hot fix quick, maybe it's okay to have the additional commit in their history, the merge commit. Just a thought. I'm not sure how that would work with existing settings and for fast forward merges.
I'm not sure. Because I think today, so the service that would merge a branch is it checks what the strategy is at the project level based on the settings, and we'll use always that strategy. So that means we might need to somehow inject a strategy that will override whatever is at the project level. Because if you say at the project level, all the MAR must be merged with fast forward merge, then it means that by merging immediately, I could potentially override that policy, project level policy. I'm not sure whether we have like use cases like this that will actually happen.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if, I mean, that might be something we could think about in another iteration or something too. It's like, maybe it could be configurable or something.
But the fact that we are saying that for fast forward merge, the actual merge procedure would always be rebase and merge, that is consistent whether we do it with merge immediately or whether the MR is merged as a consequence of the merge train pipeline succeeding. It will always be the same rebase and merge. So that I think will be consistent.
Well, depending on whether we use I guess depending on whether we use the swapping the rest strategy or not.
I don't have any more very specific questions, but I mean, if you can see some very obvious problems, I see very many problems with the flow which is in front of us right now. I mean, that needs to be fixed after this conversation. But if you want to point something out specifically that should be relooked at, it would be great.
I'm reading through it right now too, Vitika, to see if there's something that's problematic.
Sure.
I think the main difference that I can see like between the current strategy of merge train and fast forward merge would be with whatever we decide to do with the merge. With the actual merge. Like I think the rest of the logic of merge train, it shouldn't really change much. Like the fact that how we build the cascading refs, how we validate each pipeline, those should not change at all, whether we use merge, fast forward merge or the only difference would be at the time of merging this specific branch into master, what strategy we need to use. Today is we merge we use the internal ref to create a merge commit and merge to master, but we have to decide whether we want to use the internal ref to replace and fast forward merge that one, or to rebase the branch and merge. We have to decide this. But I think this in general will be, I'm not seeing other changes that we have to make to the merge train logic. Like Alison, would you agree with that?
I'm not 100% sure because if it's set to no fast forward, when I was doing the simulations, you can't do when it's set to fast forward only, you can't do a fast forward only merge. Like if you have branch A, B, and C, you can't do a fast forward only merge of branch like A into branch B. So I was using a rebase. So for branch C, I would use a rebase of A and B into C, because fast forward only won't work. And then I think I'm not sure if merge trains currently are doing that same thing, rebasing, or if they're merging and creating a merge commit right now. And I'm wondering if users would not want the merge commits if they do exist in a fast forward strategy.
Yeah, so the internal refs that we use for merge train pipelines, they are created as a merge commit. We don't rebase those because they can be so let's say safely merged with the previous ref. But with fast forward merge, before we merge, we might need to, because we always merge against master. We don't merge like a previous ref B into ref A, but we'll wait for ref B to be merged into master, right? So we always merge the top of the train. So that means we will always have to rebase against master, whatever top of the train is. I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
I'm not sure I fully followed that actually. Could you?
So with the cascading refs, we use cascading refs to run the pipeline, right?
Yeah.
But when we actually want to merge, let's say we have A, B, and C. So we always merge A first, then A becomes a master. We merge B into master, and then B becomes master, and we merge C into master. So before we merge into master, we always have to rebase those, otherwise fast forward only will not work.
Yeah, well, yeah, basically, I think the way it works now is it creates the separate ref, right? And then I'm not sure, if it uses a merge or a rebase to get A and B into C. But yeah, basically, are you saying that it uses a merge, or do you know if it uses a merge or a rebase?
I don't think we use rebase. I think we use merge, because we take whatever is in that internal ref and we merge into the previous ref, which that becomes master at that point. Yep. So the diff is the same. But at that point, doesn't matter whether we use the internal ref or we use the branch. Using the internal ref is safer because we have already tested that we can merge it. But because we merge into master with a commit, then it doesn't matter whether that commit is coming from the feature branch or it's coming from internal ref. The content is the same. So, and that is fine for today with current merge train. But if we do fast forward merge, then we rebase the internal ref and merge that, or we rebase the feature branch and merge that. But we have to rebase in order to be able to fast forward merge. Here we have to decide whether it would be better to rebase the internal ref and merge that, or rebase the feature branch and merge that. We also have to understand. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, we could technically, I guess, in the issue, there were some people that wanted it so that you can do a regular merge commit on your branch, and then like a no fast forward merge commit on your branch, and then and then merge that via fast forward. But I'm not sure why they want to do it that way. But yeah, I guess the thing is we can't do a fast forward merge right onto the temporary ref. But we could do a no fast forward merge, or we could do a rebase and
Yeah.
then integrate it back.
Yeah. It's also, I think it's possible to do the rebase, merge the target or the previous ref into the current ref, and then do the fast forward merge there. I think it's possible, but we still have to. So basically, what changes whatever we decide, whatever strategy we decide, right at the point of merging it. That is what will change.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everything else remains the same, is it? I mean,
Sorry, what did you say?
I asked, so Fabio mentioned that whatever strategy we decide, it would mostly be for the end part of the merging. So everything else before the merging part would remain the same as it is today.
I'm assuming yes, but I'm not sure. Like, Alison, you've done any other kind of deeper analysis? I haven't gone like 100% deep on this part of the code base. I just try to understand how everything works, and haven't noticed parts that need to change so far, except for when we say merge this now, that merge strategy needs to be fast forward because today would not be applied.
Got it. One question, Fabio and Alison, you've been referring internal ref and temporary ref. Are they the same thing?
Yeah, I think we call them internal ref. Basically, yeah, it will be the merge train ref that we use to internally to merge the feature branch with the previous ref and rerun the pipeline there.
Mhm.
So it would be the same terminology.
Yeah, you can almost think of it as like a branch that like users kind of can't see. I guess that's like a way of thinking about it, and then basically that branch just gets kind of put onto master.
Okay. All right.
Hey, quick question. Internal refs, is it something that is that concept only used by merge trains? Do we use it anywhere else?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Fabio, but I think that we do have other internal refs.
Yeah, we do for merge requests, merge results pipeline.
That's right. It's behaving as if, so the ref is really combining the new code with what's already on master and then running the pipeline off of that.
Or what is in the previous position of the train.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying outside of the merge train feature, do we ever have use for internal refs? And you were saying in the merge results scenario, independent of it. Yeah. Okay. All right. I had a question when Alison was speaking, and then I left my thought because I wanted to hear what she was saying. I can't remember what my question was. Okay, so I can't tell from this flow what would happen. So I'll ask my question. Maybe you can point me to the right place in the flow. The thing that's confusing for me is on a fast forward merge, if it is this new code gets into master, merged into master, but all of the refs in an existing merge train was going off of code in master before that fast forward merge, what happens to all of those existing and cascading refs? Wouldn't they need to be just, I don't know if it's rebase, or wouldn't they all need to be updated? Like, that's where I'm confused. So let's say my fast forward merge has code changes, and I'll call the code change mayonnaise. So mayonnaise gets into master. Well, all of the other things that are already on merge trains, which is like, the first in line is hamburger. The second one is chicken sandwich. All of them, none of them have mayonnaise. Wouldn't we have to update everything in merge trains so they all have mayonnaise now, because the mayonnaise code is already in master with the fast forward merge?
Yeah, or you're saying if something lands in master, everything needs to be updated?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, didn't Shinya answer this for us a couple days, or yesterday, I think?
I might have missed
let
that.
me look through my Slack.
Was it on Slack or the issue?
Because that was the phrase, and that was the phrase in the original description that says part of supporting fast forward merge is rebasing the entire train. Is that what that was meaning?
Hold on. Yeah, in Slack there was a discussion about merging via the command line interface, and I believe Shinya commented that if someone pushes to master, the whole train has to be refreshed.
That's what I thought. Okay, I missed that discussion in Slack. If anyone finds it, can you just link to that thread in our agenda? Okay, then for some reason I thought we were moving away from that concept, but that confirms that that is how it would behave in my mind. That makes sense. I have to make some sandwiches for lunch. That's why I have mayonnaise on my mind. We don't have any in the fridge.
Makes sense.
I have to use up some bread and meat cuttings, so I'm making sandwiches, but I don't know how I'm going to do it without mayonnaise. A lot of mustard, I guess, but I hate mustard. But then without anything, it'll be a dry sandwich. Okay, sorry. Is there anything else?
I have a quick question about internal ref. I mean, this is just for my own understanding. So in this, am I sharing something?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Your drawings, yeah.
merge
Your,
results. Yeah.
So I was trying to understand how pipeline for merge results work, and what I'm calling as pretend commit. Like when we run pipeline for merge results, what it does is it does a pretend merge on to validate the merge request on expected merge commit, and then creates this pretend commit. I don't know how right or wrong I am, but is this that internal ref? I mean,
Yeah, I think that's correct.
okay, all right.
So
Thank you
yeah,
so much.
we kind of simulate the merge, but we
Mhm.
write into a different ref. And this ref is called, for example, for pipeline for merge result, it will be called merge request slash merge request ID slash, I think called merge, something like that. And we just save it there and we use that to run. Or that is like a simulation of merging that into master.
Okay.
So we already have what that will look like, that commit merge into master. And
Mhm.
that's why, yeah, we use the same mechanism for merge trains as well.
All right. Okay, that was my last question.
and I hope we're not holding anyone up. We did go over time. So I think our next step is we get some user feedback if they're okay with what the merge history would look like compared to what a merge history looks like now for a fast forward merge versus what it would look like if we supported fast forward merge in merge train, right? Meaning it wouldn't have what they normally would get in a regular merge history for fast forward merge. Are you going to mock something up, Allison, for that Vitika and I can use in a user research?
Yeah, I can send you what the histories would look like between the two.
Okay.
I mean, I think I would then have to create a mock-up using the information that you provide us.
Yeah, I can just use the, there's like a Git graph thing
Okay.
on the command line, and I can send it over to you, and maybe you can make it prettier or something. I don't know.
All right. Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's
and what we want to get out of this validation with users is that it's not going to fail their expectation that we can move forward with it, right?
right.
Yeah,
Okay.
swapping the
Okay.
ref, the simpler strategy of swapping the ref
Okay.
will meet the user's needs.
Okay. All right. That sounds good. I wonder if when you send that over, Allison, if we should add it to a separate issue, Vitika, just for researching, just for validating this. Just keep it separate from any other issue on this. Okay. I still have some questions and I can't remember right now, but we can do some of that async.
That sounds good.
Yeah, my target is to deliver this really complex feature in Q1 some point. So Q1 of fiscal year 22 is February, March, and April. So I know that seems a ways away, but this is so complex that I'm glad we're starting this now because it's going to take a couple milestones or more to iterate through something.
That's true.
Yeah.
And just to, I wanted to mention that I'll be on a 10 days leave starting next week, Thursday. So, I mean, before that, my target would be to at least finish off the preparations for the user testing so that by the time we are all back in office, I mean, virtual office,
Yeah.
we could easily pick it up to our users.
Yeah. And I think that might be beginning of the year would be the first time to send it to our user because they probably won't give it the attention it needs the last, I don't know,
Right.
and I want to be available to answer their questions too. And I know a lot of us are out the last couple of weeks of the year. Okay. Thanks, folks, for joining. Let me stop the recording. I'll link to the recording from our agenda or to our agenda